Hi everyone, it's Liam here from Rating the Races. So these are our Chasers handicap mark changes, those that caught my eye, and we'll start off with Pembroke, who unfortunately has gone up £3 to 143 after finishing third in a Grade 2, beaten 8 lengths. Now, I know he was giving £3 to those that beat him, JPR1 and Matata, and I think that's where the handicap has got his new mark from. Very frustrating though, because I do like this horse. I just strongly believe he wants 2.5 mile, not 2 mile. And he needs a handicap. Now, he obviously went off, what did he go off last year? 9-2 for the county hurdle last year. He is well handicapped off 143. I think they'll be coming back for the plate. I think, they might say, actually, Cheltenham didn't work last year. We'll save him for Aintree. That could well be what they do and wait for the Aintree race. That might be a better idea, actually, of waiting for Aintree. Just because the plate is looking like there's a few that are being lined up for it, to be honest. Pembroke's just looking a bit frustrating. And they're not. I don't really think they know what to do with him. I think that's where they're getting confused with Pembroke. They don't know what to do with him. They're running him over 2 miles, thinking he's a 2 miler. He's not a 2 miler. He's a 2.5 mile horse. I'm pretty confident of that. But keep an eye out for him when he does go into a handicap over 2.5 mile. It might be at Cheltenham. It might well be at Aintree now. The second horse that caught my eye was Calico, he only went up £1, which I think was quite nice for finishing second in a race that I think he and Funambule Savola ruined each other's chances by going too fast. And the fact that Calico still managed to hang on for second, I think was a very good performance. I think if Funambule Savola had not been in the race, Calico would have won on Saturday. And similarly, if Calico had not been in the race, I think Funambule Savola would have gone a lot closer. Unfortunately, they both took each other on. They were 3 lengths clear for most of the race, going too hard. And Funambule Savola definitely fell in a hole. Calico, not quite as much. Now, he's only gone up £1 to 143. I think you've got to come back for this race at Doncaster that they won last year. They won it in March. It would be is that the 2nd of March, I think it says. I'm just having a quick look. 2nd of March, there is the same race. Come back for that. I think you win it. And surely that's got to be the plan with Calico off his new mark of 143. The third horse I want to talk about is, yes, Mr. Coffee. Dropped £1 to 141 after finding the 3 mile trip at Doncaster, all happening too quick again. He needs further, or he needs an easier race. And I actually think an easier race is the Kim Muir. So he's not going to get in the Grand National now, unfortunately. That's not going to happen off 141. I don't know whether they can find a race quick enough to get him up the handicap mark. To get a high enough handicap mark to get in at the Grand National, which is a shame considering he ran so well last year and he was 8th, and you can see that he traded 95% shorter than his starting price. But anyway, where do you go with him then? Run him in the Kim Muir. He finished second in the Kim Muir a couple of years ago behind Chambard. That was off 143.7. Yes, he's off 141 now. Honestly, he was given a terrible ride this day by Sam Whaley-Cohen. He should have won. Sam thought he was going to win on the bridle and didn't ask for an effort at all until it was far too late. And he got beat by our top-rated horse, who was a massive 72.43 on the exchanges. We actually had the 1-2 there for a lovely 458 to 1 exactor, I guess you can say. But yeah, Mr. Coffee's got to go in the Kim Muir now, and I would give him a big chance in the Kim Muir. He needs further than 3 mile, and he needs them to go quite a strong pace. I think his best runs have probably been 3rd in the 3 mile 5 at the Cheltenham Festival last year, and 8th in the Grand National. That was a very good effort, and probably the 2nd in the Kim Muir. They're his best 3 runs, in my opinion. Move on to Cap d'Or, who's dropped £3 to 118. This is the final one that I'm going to really talk about. I just wonder whether they've gone too far with this handicapping with him. They ran him so many times. You can see they ran him in October, November, December to get his handicap mark down. And they were deliberately doing that to get him what they thought was well handicapped 4 races that they could try and win. It might have gone too far in the fact that the horse may have just lost all confidence now. He ran no sort of race at Doncaster. He kind of ran how he did when he finished third in this race a couple of years back. And interestingly, he's been beaten in this race both times, the last 2 years, 2022 and 2023, and then come out and won his next race. He won at Kempton in a lucrative handicap, beating Kitty's Light, and then last year he won the Swinley Chase. Surely he goes back for that Swinley Chase, and you do have to give him one more chance on the back of he goes to Doncaster, doesn't win, he goes to the next race and he does win. The concern would be he's likely to be out of the handicap, but don't know how far out of the handicap. That doesn't really matter because I think he could win off 122, 123, 124 sort of mark. He could certainly win off those marks at Ascot. It's whether he's lost all confidence now because of this super aggressive handicapping plan. Two others that I very wanted to quickly mention. Il Rodota dropped £1 for a decent run in third, and Hitman's dropped £3, I think, for his 9th place at, just checking whether that was 3 or 4 for Hitman. £4, sorry, to 152. I just wonder whether they might go back up in trip to 3 mile for the Ultima for Hitman. He's one to keep an eye out for, and I would have to look at that race in depth if he did end up in the Ultima. But yeah, definitely Pembroke needs 2.5 mile, the plate, or maybe they save him for Aintree. Calico's got to go back to Doncaster. Mr. Coffee should go back for the Kinmure. Captain Orr has to go for the Swinley. You give him one more chance, and we'll find out whether he's been over aggressively handicapped with, by getting his mark down and down and down, and then him losing all confidence, which could happen with Langadan this year. So just keep on, be wary of that.